Driving the agenda, I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.media. Don't you just love studies that are put out there as some kind of unbiased academic work? It's just reviewing a particular topic when really it's a completely biased political work aimed at driving an agenda. And then that agenda-driven study is handed over to a willing, compliant media that's on board with the agenda and then regurgitated across the country. Here's one example. Well, it was in this publication, Ottawa Metro, the commuter paper that's handed out for free across the city. There's versions of this done locally in publications across the country, from the Toronto Star to CBC, and maybe your local version of Metro if you have one. Here's the headline: Gender and Politics in Ottawa. This is based on a study from the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, the far-left union-funded outfit that, well, only puts out agenda-driven studies. Fair enough, as long as we know where it's coming from. This study looked at issues in municipal politics across Canada and ranked cities based on that list. Here's what they're saying in this local version of the story. They're saying that Ottawa is not a great place for women because only 19% of municipal elected officials in Ottawa are women, and only 38% of senior managers are women. This is a bit of cherry picking of stats, and it's a bit tiresome. It's the type of thing that says, oh, well, there's only 38% of women in senior manager positions, ergo, the city's sexist. We need to change it. Funny, I never hear this same argument being made by these same people or these same media outlets when it comes to other statistics. Like this one: 84% of all elementary school teaching positions in Canada held by women. 59% of all post-secondary school teaching positions in Canada are held by women. Over the last several decades, those numbers have grown. Men have left the teaching profession, more women have been hired. Is this sexism, or is it people making their own decisions? What about the fact that 93% of regulated nurses in Canada are women, but the jobs are held by women? Only 7% of the jobs go to men? Isn't that some form of sexism? In those instances, we're told that this is the matter of choice, that men have the choice to do whatever they want and they choose not to enter these professions. And of course, we don't need to change this. Men have all the power, except in the HR department, where again, women dominate. Women are now starting to dominate in journalism. They're dominating in university enrollments. They're dominating in law school enrollments. And that's fine. People can make their own decisions on what career paths they want to follow, what career choices, educational choices they want to make. But this study would have you believe that there is a problem that needs to be addressed, that we need to have some form of affirmative action in place. We have that at the federal government, by the way. Did you know that women make up a little bit more than 50% of the population, but they're 54% of the federal civil service? And there are jobs that are still only available to women in order to make sure that the workforce is representative of the general population. It's not about fixing imbalances, it's about political agendas. In this case, believing that Canada is a sexist country or that Ottawa is a sexist city, and then using the power of government to change it. Women are free to run for political office. I encourage women to run for political office, to seek out the jobs they want. I've got 2 daughters. I keep telling them that they can be whatever they decide to be, follow their dream. That's what we should all be hoping for. But looking at raw stats like that and then just saying, well, this shows that it's not a good place for women, that's unfair. Just like it's unfair to say that the teaching profession is no good for men. We don't say that. We don't say that nursing is no good for men. We don't call for special programs to fix these or the many other professions that are dominated by women. It only goes one way, which tells you that it's not really about a study, that it is about an agenda. Not that you're going to learn that from the other media.